Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen, not knowing what you want to do, like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like, literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to www talkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit.
This episode of Women's Wrestling Talk has been brought to you by All Caribbean Wrestling. Catch the wave. Go to allcaribbeanwrestling.com to check out all the latest pay-per-views or go on the YouTube page at All Caribbean Wrestling. Also, go and check out their socials on Instagram at All Caribbean Wrestling and on X at All Caribbean WR1.
Hello again, everybody. Happy Friday. And don't forget to check out everything WW Talk Pod. Check out all the cool merch and interviews that we have going on. Thank you for always supporting Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet. We were gone for a minute. Now we're back with the jump off. Been a long time since we've seen each other. No, I'm kidding. But we are, and shout outs to All Caribbean Wrestling as well for being amazing sponsors. But yes, we are here. We just finished coming off of a awesome Honey Night Smackdown. And of course, I have my wrestling sister here, Courtney, queen of all things PR and media and AEW related as well. So this is a quick little review of our Smackdown event for the evening. And just to go over it really quickly, we had a few matches. We had, let's start with the ladies first. We had Piper Niven and Michin in somewhat of a crazy brawl that happened. It was actually a surprisingly very good match. The ladies turned it out. The ladies were pretty much rocking the show today as well. I know there was a lot of men's matches, but the ladies, as far as storylines and everything that was going on, they're cooking right now. But Piper Niven was defeated by Michin in a quick roll-up and a slight distraction by Chelsea Green as well, which I'm not sure if that was meant to happen or anything. I'm sure she was intentionally trying to help Piper, but it unfortunately did not work in her favor. And Michin did come out with the win. And now we are going to get ready for a dumpster match going on next week. And it's going to be the first women's dumpster match. And it's the first dumpster match in 7 years, as Boza, welcome back, has stated here. Bobby thinks that Piper Niven and Michin are great in the ring. I think so too. Really quickly, Courtney, what did you think of this match overall? And are you happy with the result?
Yes, I am, because I did pick Michin during the live show. So I picked her to win, and I actually gave her momentum going into the dumpster match against Chelsea next week. Yes. But I do say these two really delivered. And of course, Chelsea Green is doing what Chelsea Green does best. But it was a very solid match. Definitely build up momentum to the storyline ahead of next week. And I'm actually excited to see this dumpster match because I know it's going to be a lot of mayhem. It's going to be a lot of chaos. And Michael Cole is just itching for Chelsea to get thrown into that dumpster.
Yes, like I said on the Smackdown watch along, if I was Chelsea Green, I would be doing my research and go back and watch that match that happened between Michin and Jada Parker back in NXT. I would take some notes, especially because Michin is definitely going to bring it. So you better be ready, girlfriend. Better be ready. We also had a lot of things going on between the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax, as well as Tiffany Stratton, Miss Money in the Bank. Seems to be some dissension here in this little partnership that has formed between these two. Definitely kicking up the heat. Nia Jax is still not happy about the fact that Naomi versus Bayley was happening in the first place, and it never should have been happening, because she feels if Tiffany hadn't costed them the win or the loss, this wouldn't be a situation right now. But think about it. If we didn't have a winner at all, would we have seen a cash in? Possibly. Maybe. Don't know. Not sure what the plans are for the Miss Money in the Bank, but things are stirring, and Nia's not happy. Nia is extremely pissed. She even felt the need to grab Tiffy by the throat this evening. which I'm sure was very startling for Miss Tiffany in the Bank. And you know what? According to her look, she did not really like that. She did not really like that at all. What were your thoughts about the interaction with Queen Naya and Tiffany Stratton? What exactly do you see happening between these two? And will Tiffy try to cash in on Naya again?
I think Tiffany is planning to stab Nia Jax sooner than later. You saw her face. She looked very settled. And it was just like, Nia went back to her form before she went serious. And I just have the feeling Tiffany is going to stab her in the back sooner than later. I don't know when. I don't know when or how that's going to happen, but I just have it. I love it that it's starting to slowly tease a bit. Because
Like
even
that.
though she befriended Naomi, and could you imagine if she lost to Naomi?
Oh my God. I think that would definitely be stirring the pot up for sure. But yeah, even though there was no match between them, I just thought the interaction was very interesting. But however, the other women's match that did happen was Naomi and Bailey. And in order, basically the stipulation was whoever wins gets to face Nia Jax of Bad Blood. And it was a great matchup, great contest by both women. They both did their thing, but Bailey did come out on top with the win. Did you see things possibly going differently for Naomi, or did you think that she was actually going to get the win, or were you going for Bailey?
I mean, I like Bailey, but it would have been nice to see Naomi win. It would
I
just be
agree.
nice to see her
I
at least
agree.
win it, because people tend to forget she's a former women's champion. She's no slouch in the park. Like, she knows how it feels to win gold. But it would have been so nice for her to just get that win. Nothing against Bailey, because Bailey did win cleanly, but
Yes.
and seeing the aftermath of it, I just think it's going to be a slow heel turn for Naomi, because seeing that interaction from last week into tonight, and especially after the match too, it's just
Yes.
starting to slowly creep in.
I will say, side note, aside from the matchup that was amazing, shout outs to whoever Naomi's designer for her costume was tonight, pulling out the Uno card look, the draw four. Fire. And I'm so here for it. So here for it. We also had part 6 of this intense, out of control, out of this world saga that's been formed between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. And Carmelo Hayes finally cooks up the win and still is able to manage to keep it at a tie, which means that there will be a game 7 between these two. Do you think that maybe they'll have a match next week on SmackDown, or do you think they're going to have it at Bad Blood? And what did you think of the match overall? What were some spots that were your favorite, or what would you have changed? Anything about the match, or were you okay with the result?
Ironically, I picked Carmelo Hayes to win. I picked him to win, so I was happy. I was like, "Okay, Melo won," so that was a good thing for me. They did have some sick moves, like on the top rope. It was pretty much sick, both by Carmelo and Andrade. So it was nice to see that match, and they knew they were going to bring it, because they knew it was going to be this round right here. They knew they had to bring something to top it off from their last previous meeting. And then you have LA Knight coming in after that sneak attack by Carmelo Hayes. Of course, he was kind of pissed off about it, and he wanted, but he didn't care. He just wanted both of them. He was like,
And I don't blame him though. I don't blame him. You there's no way you're gonna sit here and think you're gonna get away with a cheap shot on the US champion, especially somebody as experienced as Mr. LA Knight. Yeah.
nope.
So yeah, I thought Carmelo Hayes and Andrade was a potential match of the night. I will say Naomi and Bailey's was my match of the night, but Andrade and Carmelo Hayes were a close second. Now, if they had these bangers the last few weeks on SmackDown, and we're about to be on the 7th match, you need to up the ante. You need to add a stipulation. You need to make it chaotic. You need to do something to give that match just a little more spice. I don't know if we can go through having another just unstipulated wrestling match between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. I granted they've done a lot of good cooking,
Yep.
cooking up the match, and the matches are well done, and they're both great athletes. But Mello did come out with the win in any case, and it was a quick roll up win, and kind of caught Andrade by surprise, and interruption with LA Knight. So I'm thinking that maybe if this thing still ends in a tie somehow, they might end up just making this a triple threat, like the way they do everything. But I don't know if I want to see that. Mello has kind of been LA Knight has kind of been Mello's target since he arrived on the main roster. So I would have to see Mello and LA Knight 1-on-1. But congratulations to Mello getting that tie in. It is now 3-3 for the best of 7 series that's apparently happening between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Let's see. Oh, and we had some really interesting interaction between the champion Cody Rhodes, who wasn't really featured much on this show tonight. He did kick it off and did kind of end it, but it wasn't highlighted around, the usual favorite and the singing of the song and all of that stuff. Like, this was a more serious note, and there is definitely a lot of tension building between Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens is pretty much fed up and had it with Cody's shit at this point. But at the end, they did seem to have made amends because Randy Orton came in between them. Of course, Randy Orton being the veteran that he is, I'm sure in any case, he saw a lot of himself in that moment. You know what I mean? And but Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens so far, what it looked like, might have hashed it out. But nonetheless, it started off with them, and Cody Rhodes wanted to address the elephant in the room. Well, excuse me, Randy came out and wanted to address the elephant in the room, which was, why the hell would you want to help Roman after everything you've went through with him for the last 2 years, 2 to 3 years? Why would you do that? And then, especially when those same men were the men in the ring at WrestleMania 40, celebrating your victory and your story being finished. Hypocrisy? Do I smell hypocrisy? What do you think, Courtney?
Oh man, there's just a lot to unpack. I'm not gonna say Kevin's gonna turn on Cody yet, because I feel like there is still some stuff happening. I would not be shocked if that happened at Bad Blood after that match, because there's just so much questions than answers.
Yes.
And it's just weird. It just feels weird because Cody's a champ. He started off SmackDown, didn't have a match, but he's just there like, oh, I'm just gonna help out my friends in the main event and beat the cap. But you know what? It's one of those things, and it just really sucks because I really wanted Randy Orton and Kevin to win. I just wanted them to win tonight. That just really stinks.
Yeah, absolutely. And then with all of that going on between them, before Kevin can even come out and address the situation and even say a word about what happened with Cody, or what's been happening with Cody and Roman Reigns, Solo came out and interrupted, and therefore it eventually led to some back and forth, which then eventually led to a booked tag team match between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. And though Cody was insistent on possibly making this a triple threat, like a triple threat tag team, like, I'm here too, we could do this, Kevin was like, whoa, yeet, and more yeet, sir, because you got your own tag team match. You have your own other tag team partner in Roman Reigns, where you're willingly wanting to have his back all of a sudden, just because he's being threatened by his family, who is now a new version of his bloodline, or Timu version, depending on who you are. But I think this creates a really cool dynamic in the story. I think this is something that we definitely didn't see coming in Cody's story. If we were in April, I never would have probably predicted we'd be here with this story. But you know what? I'm glad we're here. Because eventually we're going to get to the point where Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson finally reveals himself as the real person behind this Timu bloodline. And then you know what? Then it will no longer be the Timu bloodline. It will then be the Hollywood bloodline, and it's over. And it's over.
Lord. Oh my goodness.
But what do you think? What did you think about the interaction going on between Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Cody earlier tonight, as opposed to the way it? Oh, excuse me. As opposed to the way it ended.
They should have let Kevin speak. That's the thing I was upset about. They should have let him speak. The minute he was getting ready to speak, that goddamn Team New Bloodline had to stick his nose. I'm like, can't you just at least give them? Can't you just at least give Kevin 5-10 minutes for him to speak?
Seriously. When does Kevin get a say in anything? Kevin's only been getting his ass beat by this bloodline or everyone in the bloodline for the last 3 years. Like, come on now. but yeah, I mean, I think everything is just gearing up for Bad Blood, and then Bad Blood's getting closer. And then we have Crown Jewel. Then we got War Games. There's just a lot of steps that it takes to get to that Rumble. So, and right now, as we know, it since SummerSlam is over, we're gearing up for Rumble now. Who knows what this new year is going to look like by the time, and who knows what these stories are going to look like by the time we get there. But before that, we have to get to Bad Blood, and there's going to be a lot of bad blood spilt on October 5th. And it's going to be absolutely insane. Oh my God. And Rumble's in February. Thank you so much for reminding me, Bozo. It is now in February. Good God, where have I been? Not living under a rock, I promise you. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of bad blood being spilled and gearing up. And there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be going through next week. We got NXT on the CW premiering on Tuesday. We have a monster versus last standing monster match between Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed on Monday. Who knows what else they're going to be cooking up by then. And then on top of that, for Nick Aldis to announce that triple threat tag team ladder match is going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we just wanted to give you guys a quick review and just keep you guys in the loop about everything that happened this evening. We just a quick little post show here, sponsored by the Boss Lady and all Caribbean Wrestling, as well as all things wwtalkpod.com. But thank you so much for tuning in for the extra few minutes. We appreciate it. We are hopefully we're still going to be doing this Mr. McMahon watch along, so make sure you guys stay tuned. I believe the councilman will be joining us. Courtney, are you going to be down for the watch along as well?
Yeah, because I got a lot to say on episode 1.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're gonna watch episode 1 next up here on Women's Wrestling Talk, so make sure you guys tune into that. We will go live shortly for the Mr. McMahon watch along for episode 1, but until then, that is my wrestling sister, Courtney, the princess of WWT, PR, and media, and all things AEW. I am your hostess with the mostest of every Friday night Smackdown watch along, Wrestling with Honey, and we'll see you guys shortly. Thank you so much for tuning in to our watch along, and don't forget to acknowledge Women's Wrestling Talk as the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. You guys have a great weekend. Take care, and some of you guys, we'll see you at the watch along. Ciao.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at wwtalkpod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at wwtalkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.